Hey guys, what's up? Shaarq here. Alright, Storm Brand Inquisitor build guide right now, with which I had a lot of fun in Betrayal Hardcore. I also considered pushing it 100, but I got destroyed by a blue back in a D14 map. It was clearly my fault, too much self-confidence here. Stormbrand and brands in general are a newly introduced skill mechanic with which I love playing around at the moment. Really high mobility paired with a bunch of defensive mechanics like chills and freezes makes it a good choice also for hardcore in my opinion. The brand skill archetype is also extremely good for bosses. Attach your 2 brands on the target and evade and dodge attacks in the meanwhile until they die, basically. So all in all, this character is extremely flexible and can be used for every aspect of the game. Alright, before I start with the introduction of my build template, I would like to mention that I play PvE only in hardcore leagues, so usually there happens no me maxing according gear and therefore much room for improvements. But let's start. Stormbrand is linked with Conk Effect, Increase Crit and Control Destruction in your helmet slot. The unique helmet was introduced in Harbinger League and is definitely overlooked for Stormbrand builds. It is a D1 unique and provides us all we need, but more about that in the gear section, where I also give you alternatives. Other links are Herald of Thunder. Then for mobility, shield charge, 45 fast attacks, decoy totem, minion and totem resistances, multiple totems. You need to use multiple totems because of Runebinder keynote in passive tree. Just read the note and everything should be clear. Then Brand Recall linked with Arcane Surge and Flame Dash. It increases your clear speed by a lot by repositioning your attached brands over and over again. If you have the opportunity getting your hands on an Empower 4, do it and link it with Brand Recall. You have nearly instant Brand Recall done. Then cast when damage taken, Immortal Core, and Vitality and Herald of Ice need no links at all. Vitality is optional. I had an idea in mind for additional life sustain because I have a relatively high HP pool for a caster. I wanted to use a Vitality Watcher's Eye with life gain on hit and also additional life regen, but can't got my hands on one. So it's up to you. I think it's really great for endgame bosses like Uber, but you don't need it for normal mapping purposes. For that and softcore, I can recommend also an alternative where you drop Herald of Thunder and Vitality and use Wrath for more damage instead. Besides, it's one of the best league starter classes for Stormbrand, it also provides you tons of damage and defense. I mean, you can also do Scion Ascended shenanigans, but that is super expensive and tedious in my opinion. You always need, they call it Holy Trinity, which consists of 2 Might of the Meek and 1 Unnatural Instinct Jewel, but that's just a side note. Let's get back into our Ascendancy order for Inquisitor. First you should take Instruments of Virtue, which is really nice for leveling and also map clear, great pick for normal lab. Righteous Providence isn't that appealing before you go full crit, but we have to pick it because it frees the way up to Inevitable Judgment. And last but not least, Augury of Penitence provides great offense and also defense. All in all, I think Inquisitor is greatly unappreciated Ascendancy class nowadays. It's a great choice, especially with the new introduced Stormbrand. You also don't have to bother with enemies' resistances, so you can easily combine different elements with your attack. But also Elementalist is a great Ascendancy for it, so if you don't like Templars or War, this might be the class for you then. Here you take Pendulum of Destruction, Mastermind, Shape of Desolation and Beacon of Ruin. So, but back to our class now. Pantheons I chose Soul of Lunaris and Soul of Grudkur. Especially Grudkur upgrade provides us with a mini temperate chains, which is really nice in my opinion. For leveling I used Frostbomb and Freezing Parts. At level 12 I switched to Stormbrand. Grab also Brand Recall at 16 and you will be flying over leveling progress. Stormbrand has proved to be the best leveling and racing ability nowadays. It has replaced Archmans. It doesn't make sense to go for crit before you have innovative judgment on your Ascendancy, so level as non-crit and take Elemental Overload in passive tree. I usually transition into crit in high 60s in Blood Aqueduct and have access to my crit gear. Because apparently many new players are watching my videos, I've also added level increase in my PoB link. At the bottom left you can swap between the different skill trees for level progression, so I hope that helps you out. You can find the PoB link in the description of this video and in my thread. For bandits I had a Lyra obviously. We start gear section with weapon slot. A rare scepter is the way to go. It doesn't have to be Shaper version. Look for crit chance, cast speed, crit multi, spell damage and every kind of flat elemental damage for spells. Since Betrayal you can also mastercraft non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage, which is really powerful too. It is impossible to get every single stat, I know that. So I recommend you taking the time to compare and simulate different weapons in PoB to figure out your biggest damage increases. Shield is cast speed, life and resistances. If you have the possibility to craft extra chaos damage, do it. Big boys go also for spell crit here. Helmet is Tempest Spining, which provides us with life and auras, but most importantly makes our 4-link setup into a 6-link setup. Innerwake gives you additional flat lightning damage and increased chance to shock, and Icebite provides us frenzy charges on kill and a bunch of flat cold damage. As I've already mentioned in the beginning, this unit is extremely overlooked in my opinion. Alternatives are a 6-link Clawweave or a rare helmet crafted with Essence of Horror. Both alternatives give comparable damage but are way more expensive than Tempest Spine. Chaos Heart is our HP giver number 1 and highly recommended. If you don't have the money at the beginning, look for any rare chest with highest life roll you can get. Links doesn't matter here. On rings I decided to go for a rare Elder crafted ring with Warlord's Mark on hit, which gives you life, mana leech and endurance charges on kill. The second one is a Mark of the Shaper. On rest of your gear aim for life, res and maybe chaos res, and crit multi on amulet. You can also craft really cool stuff with newly introduced working bench, so take a look. For example, you are now able to craft movement speeds or combined with onslaught or cannot chill on boots. This way you can save a lot of currency. For jewels you go for crit multi, life and cast speed. That's it boys, if you liked the video and want to see more, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that. Enjoy!